I want to tell you about a time we spent $24,000 and committed to a 1 year contract as an investment to grow our business. So there was a time at Coaching No Code Apps where the only work we did, the only services we offered were tied to the amount of time we had available in any given day. So we would build apps for people or spend entire days helping people build their apps. But pretty much, everything we did, we could only do so much because we had the cap of time. That was amazing, honestly. I mean, for a lot of people, we built what would be a dream business. We were able to build really cool apps, work with some amazing entrepreneurs, and make an impact across lots of different industries. Despite all of that, as entrepreneurs ourselves, we had two goals that were really compelling us to continue trying to grow. The first goal was to have a deeper and also broader impact. Like I said, we were able to build some really cool apps and work with these amazing entrepreneurs in these different industries, but we wanted to do a lot more of that because when someone has the ability to launch their own application, that's one of the most scalable forms of business or business models that you can possibly have. And that can make such a big difference on that entrepreneur's family, their lives, their entire lifestyles, and of course their users. And we wanted to do so much more of that. And number two, again, as entrepreneurs, we wanted to make more of an impact on our own lives too. We wanted to grow our business. Looking back, I grew up in a single parent household. My mom was a teacher. My brother and I were latchkey kids, right? And I always dreamed of having something of my own. I was always driven to work and to make money, to be honest, to try and control the path of my own life. And that's just something we wanted for ourselves as a business. We wanted options, we wanted flexibility, and we really wanted control. Now, you might be experiencing an overlap of those two things yourself. Maybe you are in a career where the impact you make is, again, tied to your time, or maybe you already have an existing business and you want to broaden your reach, broaden your impact, and you know that having an app can help you do that because it detaches that reliance on time alone in order to make the impact. And maybe you're feeling the same thing about wanting to have that product, that business of your own, and have that control and the flexibility. Maybe you want to just have a side income stream to give you a little bit more control, or maybe you want to replace your career, or maybe you want to make your existing business more scalable so you can grow more easily and build this thing that you've dreamed of for so long. And that's where we were at. And honestly, up to that time, we had tried everything. I mean, I don't really like the word hustling, but that's exactly what we had been doing for a long time. I mean, it was pretty much 24/7 work, evenings, weekends. It never left our brains thinking about how to achieve what we wanted to achieve. Now, at a certain point, I realized that we weren't going to be able to get where we wanted to go alone or without making some sort of investment. And so I started looking for a mentor or a coach who had a proven track record of helping other people achieve exactly what we wanted to achieve. And I found someone who was doing that, and so I scheduled a strategy call and had a discussion with the business owner to really just talk about, where we had gone up to that point, what we were struggling with, what we were trying to achieve, and ultimately just what our next steps needed to be. And I learned on that call that in order to move forward with that coaching, it was going to be a $24,000 investment and a 1 year contract commitment. So I got off the phone and that amount of money at the time was really shocking for me. I had never made that type of financial investment or even time commitment into the business before. I mean, yeah, we had worked way more than that leading up to it, but signing a contract for the next year and spending that kind of money, it felt so risky and scary, honestly. But the reality is, it was only going to be risky if we weren't confident in ourselves. But we knew that if we moved forward with this, then we were going to be able to do the amount of work it required. Because if there's work that is going to take us toward a goal that we want to achieve, we're going to do that work. There's really just no question. And we were going to be doing it with someone who had coached other people who were in our exact shoes trying to achieve exactly what we wanted to achieve. And so at the end of the day, it really just wasn't all that risky, especially when we thought about what the alternative was. If we didn't move forward with that option, the alternative was really to continue down the path we were already on, trying the different things that we had already tried and really just exhausting our own time capacity. And if we hadn't achieved what we were wanting to achieve when we had tried all these things and spent all of this time, then continuing down that path to me felt kind of dumb. Like, why would we continue doing the same thing but expecting a different outcome? We all know the quote, "What got you here won't get you there." And that was really resonating at the time. We knew that what had gotten us to that point wasn't going to get us to that next level that we were aiming for. So from the evening where I had that phone call to the next morning, we made the decision to move forward. And that's what we did that morning. And while it was still scary and intimidating because I'd never invested that much money into something before, like I said, we were really confident in ourselves and we knew that we were just going to, one, do the work and two, trust the process. And as soon as we started doing that, the momentum just kept building and building and building. And now looking back all these years, thinking back to when we went through that time and then all of the other investments into coaching and mentorship that we made into our business after that, I mean, that first leap, it changed the trajectory of our entire business, of all the clients who we're able to help in different ways, and honestly, of our lives too. I mean, that investment has been paid back to us again and again and again. Now, the biggest lesson I learned throughout all of that I want to convey to you, it doesn't have to do with your willingness or your ability to spend the money or to spend the time, although those are things that you do need to do in order to really grow a business if you want to grow and scale. But the really big lesson I learned is that whatever you've done up to where you are now, if it's really hard, you're really struggling, it's taking too long, you're feeling really frustrated, trying to get to that next point, that next level or milestone, you need to do something different. Again, what got you here won't get you there. You're going to be having so many different chapters in your entrepreneurial journey. And I like to think of them like that, as individual chapters within an entire book that's a part of a really long series. That's what your entrepreneurial journey can look like if you want it to. But the thing is, every single individual chapter is kind of like a mini triumphant story in and of itself, where the first chapter is about reaching that first level. The next chapter is about reaching the next level. And again, you can have all of these different chapters and all of these different books in this long, drawn out series if you want to. But the key to getting from one chapter to the next, and so on, is your ability and willingness and honestly eagerness to change your path, to do different things, to realize that sometimes you need to make different decisions that are uncomfortable. You might need to pivot. You might need to iterate. What got you to this point is not going to get you to the next and the next and so on. That's the important thing you need to carry forward. When you come up against resistance with your app, with your business, or with yourself, and you can't figure out how to push past it, you need to do something different. If the resistance you're feeling right now is that you can't figure out how to leverage the technical tools, the no-code tools like Bubble, you just can't get the pieces to work, then I have a video below that's going to help you do exactly that. I'm going to link it up here on the screen and it'll be in the description below as well. Or if the resistance you're feeling is that you know you can do this thing. You know you can build the app. If someone else has done it, then you can do it too. But you don't have a clear path forward. And you really just want the steps laid out for you so you can do the work and move forward. Then I want you to head to coachingnocodeapps.com/workshop. Again, I'll link it below because that workshop is going to help you take the next steps toward being a no-code app entrepreneur and making that impact on your target market, in your industry, and on yourself. Just remember that you can achieve all of these things that you want. And as you are trying to do that, as you're working toward these goals, you are going to come up against resistance. It's going to happen again and again and again. That is part of the journey. But when it happens, you need to have a willingness and an eagerness to make a different decision, do something differently, step outside of your comfort zone, and just figure out a way around it so you can keep moving forward. I hope this lesson is as helpful for you as it has been for me. And again, check out those links in the description if you're wanting to take next steps with your no-code app and your own entrepreneurial journey. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.